subdivision plats for property that's located in the city's ETJ, west of 75 and south of 121. The first plat is a preliminary plat, and the second plat is very similar in nature, and it's the proposed final plat. So with the reconfiguration and discussions with TxDOT, if you note the northernmost common area shown in this plat, it's approximately 150-foot depth common area that could be acquired and is being reserved for potential TxDOT right-of-way dedication in the future.
1.26. My question is, why could that property line be brought a little bit south to allow 4, 5, and 6 to meet the 1 acre minimum? And the reason why I think this is kind of a stick. I mean, I understand the right-of-way deal. I mean, I understand that getting pushed back and trying to rework things, but at the same time, you're asking potential homeowners that are going to be building on those properties to be forced to use a different irrigation system.
The reason why we can't move Lot 7's northern property line south is that Lot 9, Block A, that's actually where the floodplain is. And overall, from 121 down to Lot 9, it's about 55 feet of fall. So essentially,
Lot 9?
On Lot 9.
That's way down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason why we kind of pushed everything up north is because that one house right there has the majority of the topo. So I'll be building that house on the left side of the lot.
Hearing none, on item 4B, all in favor of making a recommendation to City Council that this be approved, signal by raising your hand, please. Okay, 3 and 4, and those opposed? Passes 3 to 2.
It's a request for a public hearing to make a recommendation to City Council regarding a request to rezone an approximately 3.1 acre tract of land from Commercial 2 and Thoroughfare Overlay District to Commercial 1 and Thoroughfare Overlay District located on the north side of Van Alstyne Parkway, east of Jim Jones Road. As you may recall, back in January of 2023, the subject property, the 3.1 acres shown on this particular slide and generally across from the college, was annexed into the city limits.
And I think that would be a good use for it. The gentleman that had put it under contract before, that put it into the C2 zoning, is a guy named John Royer, who is a customer of mine. I built him his house probably 15, 20 years ago in Fairview. And when he put it under contract and told me he was going to put in the collision repair, I kind of winced a little bit because I thought the property was too good a location for that. But, you know, it being what it is. But I think a Montessori school would be a great location here. So.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify by raising your hand. Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries unanimously.
This particular request is intended to become a planned development. So with this particular zoning request, what will accompany it is a site layout, which would define some of the development standards on the property, and I'll touch on those. But as you can see from this exhibit, you have an existing 4,600 or so square foot existing residential structure with a swimming pool and a driveway, as well as a circular driveway. This request would allow for this structure to be converted from a residential structure into a commercial building, and specifically a daycare.
So our houses, we try to keep in the spirit of the history of Van Alstyne. They're cute 100-year-old houses, and we keep them that way. This house, we have very much the same intentions. This house, this is a concept. I'm not a very good photoshopper, but this is how we want it to look. Right now, it's a red brick home. For those of you who are familiar with it, I think everybody's seen it. Red Spanish tile roof. We're going to clean that roof.
And I'd like to state my opposition to this for a couple of reasons. One, this is zoned currently as a neighborhood, and so I think by bringing this in, it's going to change the complete complexion of the neighborhood. There's no doubt the city's growing. You need services like this. If you're trying to force it into an area that really doesn't belong, that's the first reason. The second reason is it's going to be a lot of traffic. That's a very dangerous intersection there, especially the next street up with cars coming around. This is just going to increase the traffic flow. And there's going to be people there probably starting early in the morning till late in the evening, picking up children. And so it's just going to create a lot of traffic in the neighborhood. I've talked to different neighbors in the area. No one seems to be for this. And so those are the kind of the key reasons. Another reason is probably going to affect property values there, because people aren't going to find that neighborhood desirable anymore. They're going to have this sitting there. And it's probably going to look nice and everything, but it's just changing the nature of the neighborhood.
Not coming from the person that's in this, but as a mother here that has lived here for 6 years, that is a foster parent as well with 4 children of my own, the need is so there. And my child's been on a wait list for almost around the last 8 months, my youngest, and they don't know when they'll have a spot for her. I actually own the salon just behind that lot too as well, so speaking for the salon as well, we don't mind it being there. A lot of times you will find daycares inside of subdivisions. You find elementary schools inside of subdivisions, and that doesn't change anything. Would you rather your child care be in a neighborhood that is surrounded by a community that we love, or in between Lowe's and Home Depot? You know, I just truly feel like this is our best location. This is somewhere that we can make work.
I grew up here in Alstyne. I've lived here since 1970 something, moved back 15, 20 years ago. I know what that street's like. I still have a P.O. box. I have my parents' P.O. box from when we moved here. I have waited in traffic coming to town and been backed up past the funeral home to Green Acres, waiting just to get to the red light to go home. I can't begin to imagine when you put a daycare there, the traffic of parents at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, pulling in. We know what it's like exiting at 51, sitting there, waiting to turn left or turn right. That is my concern. That is my concern. I totally agree we need more daycares. I'm a former educator, I'm a retired principal. I am all for taking care of kids. Please believe me when I say that. There is nothing there. My problem is the location. That is a horrible place for it. I've done pickup, I know what pickup drop-off looks like. That's just a crisis waiting to happen right there. Parents are gonna pull out into traffic. I can see it in the mornings, I can see it in the evenings. I just think there's a better place.
What about occupancy in that building? I think of 100 students and maybe 10 plus faculty. That's 110 people in a pretty small building. What's fire code say about that?
What's
fire code? Occupancy rate.
Well, we designed it for 100 kids based on the square footage of the building, because it's highly regulated by the state and the county and the city on how many children you can have in a daycare center based on the square footage. So, you know, when we convert those bedrooms into daycare rooms and include the garage to make some more extra space, that's how many kids we can fit. So that's what the fire code says.
There's a motion, a second by Jim. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify of the motion to deny this, signify by raising your hand, please. Motion is unanimous to deny this request.
Give an opportunity to the Kirby Smith team to share some information about a prospective project that we've been discussing with them about. We've not received any formal requests for development or zoning or annexation at this time, but we've had numerous productive conversations with the team that's going to be presenting tonight, and I just want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and introduce their perspective.
We're here to talk about Kirby Smith's machinery project here in Van Alstyne. They do currently have the 26 acres under contract along 75 and Sanford Circle, and originally we were kind of going on the path of pursuing it in the ETJ, and then working with Alex and Lane has been a real eye-opener and what benefits could mutually gain through an annexation and zoning process. And just a little context on Kirby Smith and the history of North Texas. We've been working with them now for probably about 4 years. We started, actually I was not involved when they were in Anna, looking at Anna. Eventually Holt Cat, you all might know, they ended up with that site off Collin County Outer Loop and Highway 5. That's what Kirby Smith was originally chasing. They went to McKinney, that's where we got involved. Unfortunately, we had some issues with the city of McKinney, could not see eye to eye. And they just outgrew the site that they really wanted in the time frame that we couldn't get everything done at City of McKinney.
We are the Komatsu dealer for North Texas, West Texas, and Oklahoma. Komatsu's heavy construction equipment product. We also represent the Working Line, which is road-based material for doing paving, both black paving and concrete paving, compaction equipment, cranes. We offer about 50 different product lines. 80% of our business is the Komatsu product line, so the heavy construction equipment.
And then we just got a brief site layout. We are currently in civil engineering, so this is just a conceptual design. It will be refined. There's no action items for you guys tonight. Again, this is just a soft introduction. We'll be back with you guys on the 18th of June, I believe, and we'll have a lot more detail to the site. But generally, they do have crushed granite in the yard. It's kind of the spec that we use in the yard. And then a 30,000 square foot building with 10,000 square feet of office and then 20,000 square feet of shop in the back with a wash bay. It's kind of the site rendering. This is actually pulled from the Waco project that we're doing with them right now. It will be kind of a replica of this, but the possibility of coming into Alstyne, into the city, they made a commitment to try and expand the bay, so it's going to be a little bit larger facility, a little bit larger office.
I know you don't want to compare yourself to anybody else, but with the facility, this sounding like it would look kind of like the John Deere that we already have here as far as
Bigger equipment.
yeah, it's bigger equipment, but the layout and
it would be very similar, yes. Very similar to the layout.
Wrought iron fence probably around it.
That's the conversations that we've had with Alex, and really we based it around the United Ag and Turkey.
Obviously, to get what are the advantages? You know, you said there were advantages. What are the advantages for you to come into the city? And what is it? Obviously, I know the advantage for us is tax base and things like that. So, what is the? I'm excited that you're interested in being annexed. So I'm just curious. Why do you want to be in the city limits?
Absolutely. So we're looking for maybe some infrastructure assistance, TxDOT as well. We'd like the city to support us on certain entrances to the property. It's 26 acres. There's going to be 2 phases to it possibly. We don't know if they want to take the full 26. At this point, they're going to take the northern 13 and then hopefully grow into the full 26. And if not, then sell off that southern portion for commercial uses is what we've talked to Alex about so far. So. And then on top of that, the tax base that they do generate is pretty significant. The reason why they can have the opportunity to expand past the typical prototype that we have is because we will be requesting some of that back in rebates through the EDC possibly. We're still working on mechanisms.
Alex, what's the? Are we selling? We're not selling everything off just to get a commercial property, are we?
There's the benefit. There's of course the sales tax and
sure. That's some pretty
property
substantial
tax
sales tax.
That's right.
Yeah. That's very substantial sales tax.
But I mean, and frankly speaking, just given the limitations of annexation, just the ability to grow our corporate boundary gives us an opportunity to grow it even farther if another opportunity presents itself. So those are the 2 main benefits, just from a municipal standpoint, and then the opportunity to expand our infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure, you know, they're going to have a bigger, and South Grace is going to serve the water line that's out there. Sure. We're acquiring that CCN, so come get city water.
Yeah. All righty. With that, and having completed the business before us, I declare this meeting adjourned at 8:01.